This morning I shared a video, hard work only pays off if the hard work is efficient. And I used the example of trying to push your car with it in park. You're working really hard, but you're not going anywhere. And I could sit here and list off hundreds of people that I've worked with that were working super hard and they weren't getting the results they were wanting is because things were not efficient. And I'll give you a couple examples. I had a kid who I worked with since he was 14 years old, super great athlete, basketball player, baseball player, track athlete, had a super successful high school track season, super explosive, muscular, had a nice foundation, was ready to take off and do really well in college, decided he was going to go, he took a scholarship at a Division I school. And you would think in a Division I school, they would have somebody that knew something about programming for track athletes. He was a sprinter, 200, I think he ran 100, 200, 400. Very explosive guy. Had a great foundation, should have stepped off. Called me about a couple months into his time there. It was like, my knees hurt, everything hurts. Well, send me what you're doing. Well, his coach, was actually a cross-country runner. And the amount of volume he was doing was absolutely insane. And I was like, wow. So I was like, man, let's just do what we can, cut the obviously you have to do what you're told, but let's cut some of the volume off as much as possible and get you through the season. Then when you get out of there, we'll make some adjustments. So, and there was another kid I was working with who went there as well. Big, strong kid when he left. Both those guys lost 10 or 15 pounds. Not a good 10 or 15 pounds. They looked like cross-country runners because they've been training like cross-country runners. So we got him on the off-season. We got him lifting, more explosive, eating more food, started gaining weight. He transferred schools, and he actually went to a smaller school. So those of you that think that just because it's D1 means you're going to have great coaching, not in this case. This kid went to a smaller school this past year. And absolutely, he got somebody who actually knew how to program for sprinters. Absolutely crushed it. Okay? So, there's an example of somebody who was working hard, but was doing the wrong stuff, right? Another example, I can, so many women that I've worked with in the last 20-something years that trying to lose body fat, they're eating good, they're training really hard, they're on birth control. It's very difficult, especially something like Depo, right? So you have to educate them, have them talk to their doctor, and then they have to decide what's best for them. They come off the birth control, they find other methods of birth control that are non-hormonal, and their weight just literally melts off them, right? So it's pretty hard to drive a car when the brakes are on. When you're on hormonal birth control and you're a female, you're trying to lean out, it's very difficult to do. Okay, so that's another one. Let me see. I had another example I wanted to give. Oh, here's a classic. I'm obviously not a medical doctor. I give advice, and then people go to their doctor and figure out what they want to do. Gallbladder. The number of women that I have had over the last 25 years that had no gallbladder, had their gallbladder taken out, and were not instructed to take some sort of digestive support. Your gallbladder stores bile. So if you don't take something that's going to provide you with some ox bile while you eat your fats, especially, you're not going to digest your food. You're not going to get fat soluble vitamins and all these different nutrients. So these women are walking around bloated and feeling like crap, and they're training and they're trying to get better. They add a couple digestive enzymes to their diet every single day, and all of a sudden they lose bloat. They lose weight because they're actually, digesting their food, and then their gut's happier. So those are just three examples of working harder isn't necessarily going to get you the results that you need. So always look at what you're trying to accomplish and make sure you're doing, the low-hanging fruit. And you want to work hard, but in an efficient manner. So there's my expanded thoughts on that.